There's some companies that will give slight preference to people who have work experience. There's some companies which actually say that work experience is almost a little bit of a burden for me. So I actually want to look in more freshers because unlearn karana padega mujhe from what the person's work style is. See, in terms of academics, you could have been a master of one, but you also want to show that you are like a well-rounded person, right? You have been volunteering, maybe you've been doing well in clubs, committees. So there should be some additional spikes because everyone who they are anyways looking at have a 999. But what more than that? For your ability to structure a very random, like how many balls fit in a Boeing airplane, right? Like so, but they're not really checking for your ability to actually guess the right number, but the approach to.
All right, hi everyone, welcome on board. Today I'm going to talk about how to get into MBBs. चाहे तुम ISB जाओ, चाहे अहमदाबाद, चाहे SPJ बॉम्बे, अभी ड्रीम कंपनीज FMCG नहीं रही हैं. मेरे टाइम पे it was like PNG, Marico, HUL, Day Zero, or iBanks as well. But right now, the dream company that everybody wants to live is consulting. Today I've got Mehak with me. Hi Mehak, welcome on board.
Hi Sumit.
Mehak is the Stanford GSB alumni. Mehak, I was rejected by Stanford GSB का Dhirubhai Mani full scholarship program. Though I got through Stanford, you applied to that, didn't get through, and then a full scholarship. Did you apply to that?
I didn't know about it when I
You didn't know about this?
No, I didn't know about Dhirubhai Mani.
Free है भाई.
I know, but they've discontinued it now.
Is it? They rejected me and they discontinued. So you are in Taj Hotel Bombay, 50 best of the brains in the country, and you feel like you're going to be studying here, and then they shook me out. Nevertheless, let's turn the topic today. आज का topic है McKinsey BCG Bain के अंदर कैसे जाना है. There is some information which is going to be coming up in this video, which is not public, and there's some information which is generic. So I would love Mehak to spill the beans with us, because Mehak 5 साल से बच्चे भेज रही हैं McKinsey BCG Bain में. Ma'am, you were heading 2.5 साल से sorry, but 5 साल से MU भेज रहा है, right?
हाँ,
From cohort number 1 में. I remember Deepti in BCG या Bain.
Janisha had gone into BCG.
Janisha the world. They're doing pretty good in their life,
They're
right?
doing well, yes.
So ये भाई अभी ma'am is the director of the entire PGPTBM course at MU. इन लोगों ने 1 year का भी launch किया था पहले, और अभी sorry एक 16 months program और एक 24 months program है. 24 months का program is for those people who've got zero experience as well. तो आज सारी बातें करेंगे. क्या हमारा fresher बच्चा McKinsey BCG में Bain में जा सकता है? Every year around 6 to 10 people from MU goes to MBBs. तो क्या होता है मैम consulting? Please define करिए and make it a mini master class for all of us.
So first disclaimer, I have never worked in consulting.
Good.
So I might not be the best person, which is why I'd hired a best person called Shikhar.
Yeah.
He is himself ex-BCG consultant after his MBA. So he's leading a lot of initiative to ensure that students are well prepared for the roles. I think for me, consulting roles are a great way for you to start your career, because it helps you get into a project, understand की problem क्या है customer की, solve it, and then come out of it, go to the next project. तो जो आपकी एक skill होती है कि how do you really learn about a new industry in a very structured, time-sensitive manner, and then being able to communicate the shortfalls or like ideas of that project, or whatever the students or the consultants are working on, उस पे आप कर पाओगे. That to me can be an exciting way for someone to get their hands on multiple industries, understand about it, and develop that skill. Got
it. So say बंदे को job मिल जाएगा कि भाई तुम जाओ भी Indian Railways के अंदर, like McKinsey works very closely with Government of India, so it's Bain and BCG as well. तो जाके turn around करो यार.
Correct.
And or why there are less number of train turnarounds happening in the north of India as compared to the eastern side of India. North में still train is not the best preferred, road is the, to solve this problem. Like how
so there can be a lot of different types of cases, Sumit. There can be a case where अच्छा क्या should we enter into this new market, like it's a go to market case. Then there's a comparator benchmarking case कि यार ये am I in the right price zone, am I in the right locations compared to my competitors. Then there can be these kind of turnarounds where if a company, when it's wanting a digital transformation, a lot of time doing it internally is very, very hard. Sare stakeholders there, they might not be willing to listen. Then consultants can be seen as a neutral third party who's really not involved in the day-to-day politics or is not involved in day-to-day work, and is able to actually help with that turnaround, SOPs, etc.
Understood.
So a lot of it
across
will
the
be
different
different.
companies, across distance industries. Somebody could be in the, say, railways, tourism, transport. Somebody could be in edtech as well, right?
Yes.
Somebody could be in healthcare setup. So, ये काफी interesting role है. So I was in GE. So GE was not a consulting role; it was a German role.
जी.
But the leadership program, which involves you to, you can go to Boston and fix up GE healthcare for 6 months. तो पहले लगता है यार, मैं बोलता था मैं कैसे choose करूँ किस business में जाना है. You don't anything. You're fresh out of SPG in Bombay. And after first rotation, they send you to GE Oil and Gas, and then you go to Texas, and then you come back to India and you want to work for GE Money.
Right.
By fourth rotation, you know, पहले 3 में तो पता ही नहीं होता क्या चल रहा है. चौथे में तो हम खुद बोलते हो, हाँ बताओ, bring it on.
Right.
अब क्या करूँगा मैं? Because you don't know. पहले तो लगता है मैं कैसे करूँगा. And then you become project manager. You learn from them, and then you start managing them as well. So
A lot of it is about asking the right questions so that you can actually get the information out.
And it makes you more curious. I tell this to everybody. So thanks to the Almighty that I could do a consult role through my Genman role,
Right.
and then become boring for the next 3 years where I was just doing oil and gas.
Yeah.
Great. Let's talk about the cool stuff about McKinsey, BCG, Bains of the world. ये कुछ ही लोगों को देते हैं, and academically sound bent of mind हो तो अच्छी बात है. But
A lot of
now
them have a criteria that you have to be a straight 999 across your 10th and 12th and college. So definitely academics is critical.
That's great. What else? I mean, in your past life, BCG was on campus recently.
Yes.
And they've hired like 4 or 5.
They've taken I think 3 to 4 interns. Yes.
3 to 4 interns.
Yes.
Okay, great. तो कैसा रहता है कि इनका what kind of people? I met a girl. She was from CFA level 1, 2, 3, and then she made it. There was an engineer who made it as well.
Yeah.
So is it like background matter करता है कि it's just 999 and you kill the interview?
I think everywhere what you've done so far, Sumit, will play a hand into whether you're getting further accepted into the interview or not. क्योंकि आप इंटरव्यू में तो तब क्रश करेंगे जब आप इंटरव्यू तक पहुंचेंगे, right? So even shortlisting wise, the shortlist is going to be probably 30-40 students out of the batch of 234. Now one interesting thing has happened is that over the years I feel जितने लोग मेरे पास cohort 23 में consulting में जाना चाहते थे, it would probably be 95% of my entire cohort. Today that number is 85% because by default हम लोग we're attracting a lot of folks who want to also start up, etc.
Got it.
Additionally, I feel a lot of roles like founders office roles, product roles, like in Stanford today consulting is always looked at as the backup. कि अच्छा और कुछ नहीं होता तो consulting में चले जाएंगे.
Okay.
Because product roles are looked at कि यार these are the futuristic roles, and I'm sure like I'm talking about 5 years ago. Maybe now that has changed because AI has come and ये वो. So now we also see that a lot of our students want to get into chief of staff role जहाँ पे आपको एकदम on ground execution भी करने को मिल रहा है. Because sometimes consulting can be a little bit more strategy.
Yeah, just the PPT, sit in the your plus nice.
But it also
glass
depends
office.
on where are you working,
doing,
what team were you in, what project have you been assigned. Someone like Indra Nui started her career in consulting, and that muscle led her to be able to do multiple industries really well. So I definitely
Why
think
it's still esteemed to work in a consulting? Like once you work in consulting throughout life, लोग बोलते हैं I started my career in consulting and then I move ahead. इतना क्यों plus माना जाता है?
I feel the kind of imagine like you're a 25, 26-year-old and you're working for a client where the client who you are working with or the stakeholder management is at the CEO level सीधा. कि as a 25-year-old you are probably working directly with a 40, 50, 60-year-old and you have to get to a position where you are able to call the shots equally and tell them that no, this is not right, and then you need to have done your research really well to be able to defend your idea in front of such a senior person. So I think एक आपका stakeholder management becomes very, very good simply because of the role requirement. Second, I think the kind of clientele you get to work with, so you end up working with like smart people on the client side also, and within the firm also, consulting is picking the creme from all colleges. So again, it's an aspirational place for a lot of people to meet like very, very sharp, like-minded folks. So I think there are definitely a lot of advantage. The pay is really good, of course. That never harms.
Let's talk about, we are all excited about consulting right now. I was in IIM Ahmedabad recently, so BCG was hosting a dinner for the 35 odd people. I knew this number when I was in IIM Ahmedabad. I didn't talk about it, but it's been public right now. And one of the highest cohorts which they have made, and there was a fancy dinner. I was just thinking, people who made it, they get to eat the dinner, and people who didn't make it, maybe they could have given like 70 shortlists, and after all the possible rounds. Talking about rounds, academics हो गया, high plus बढ़िया चीज़ है. क्या scene है? कौन लोग? What kind of CVs make it through in your past life? What have you seen? What kind of CVs? वो देख लिया हमने, CFA level 1, level 2, good academics. Anything else which you think?
So, it also depends a lot, Sumit, on company to company that is coming for recruitment. There's some companies that will give slight preference to people who have work experience. There's some companies which actually say that work experience is almost a little bit of a burden for me. So I actually want to look in more freshers because unlearn karana padega mujhe from what the person's work style is. So it can vary. Everybody is definitely looking for someone. Again, I'll give an example. If you're saying that you follow football, then if I ask you that, okay, ye wale match mein kaun kahan khel raha hai, and if you don't know, like the expectation is you know your shit really well. So someone who's able to, really show themselves as a multi-dimensional person rather than just a geek alone. Like you want a well-rounded person, because now imagine आपकी consulting की growth भी कैसे है सुमित? आपका जो partner है आज के time में, he's probably doing what a salesperson is doing, which is closing deals, getting more clients. Probably 75 to 80% of all of his time is going in wine and dine and converting clients, right? So then if there's someone who's just academically strong but does not have what it takes in terms of personality, in terms of well-roundedness, I don't think they'll succeed in the firm. So when they're also picking up people from the campus, they're seeing those traits that, does this person have that leadership potential to grow and thrive in the organization.
Understood. बहुत ही बढ़िया यार, ठीक है. And CV sorted हो गया. Is it good to have like a diverse CV, multiple things in life, or master of one is always good?
See, in terms of academics, you could have been a master of one, but you also want to show that you are like a well-rounded person, right? You have been volunteering, maybe you've been doing well in clubs, committees. So there should be some additional spikes, because everyone who they are anyways looking at have a 999. But what more than that? It's not like 999 ki kami hai, right?
True that.
So then what more than that will still set you apart?
Great. The last part of this discussion is about interviews. Like interviews are all about, they start with guesstimations, right? And if you can give us a small overview, like overall there are around 6 to 9 people who've gone through Masters Union. कैसा उनका interview था, क्या-क्या experience आगे बच्चे share करते हैं? Since you were heading placements till now, क्या inputs है उसके बारे में?
So I think a lot of, again, different styles of interviewing. Some places a little bit more stress interview. Some places like the partner is like eating and he's like, it's almost like, you're shooing that person away because you want to also test for the grit and persistence of the person that, are you able to catch my attention while I'm actually not wanting to be very attentive.
Right.
So those are some places I've heard where students are like, okay, I have no idea because this is how it happened. And but yeah, I think guesstimates are a very standard process where they're checking for your ability to structure a very random, like how many balls fit in a Boeing airplane, right? So but they're not really checking for your ability to actually guess the right number, but the approach to how would you even think about a problem statement, which is as vast and undefined as that, because the kind of problem statements I'm sure the customers are bringing to the consulting home are also very, very undefined and wide to start with.
And they're not looking for a perfect answer, they're looking for a guesstimate, right?
They're looking for your approach, like I said. They're not even looking for the answer. They're looking for the steps that lead you to get to that number, and now you can plug in the answers later on. That's never a problem. The second then can be, different types of actual case studies that students will go through. So how, they'll give, like I was saying, that there are different types of cases. There can be improving profitability kind of case, increasing market share kind of case. How do you, move ahead of the competitors kind of case. Should you enter a new market kind of case.
Go to market for,
So new geography, new product launch that, okay, these are 5 ways in which we can expand now, but which product should we launch and why?
Awesome. That's
so then a lot of case studies, HR rounds, etc., culture fit.
Multiple rounds. Last is the partner round, that's what they call it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in which the partner gets to call with you and he's
right,
like, okay.
Right.
That's amazing. I think that was really helpful to all of you guys. Any questions you have regarding McKinsey, BCG, Bain of the world, or anyone already working in these companies, cracked an interview. Do drop in a comment for sure. और मुझे बताइए भाई आपका क्या विचार है when it comes to MBBs or anybody who wants to go to an MBB. Type in your profile. I'll review your profile whether you're the right fit or not. और अगर नहीं है तो मैं बताऊंगा आपको क्या करना है. Mike, any parting thoughts with for all my 21, 22-year-old? आप स्टैनफोर्ड जा चुके हैं, स्टार्टअप कर चुके हैं. Right now you're the director of a business school of the entire PGP TBM program as well. So any parting thoughts for the young kids?
I think one parting thought that I have, sometimes we hold one single ambition very closely to our heart कि यार ये नहीं हुआ ना तो life खत्म है. I feel that kind of approach is just not the most positive approach for your life, because there'll be some wins, there'll be some losses, right? How do you cope up with your losses and actually convert your next step into a win? That okay, I hated losing. What do I differently so that next time I don't ever feel so shitty by losing? So I think my parting thought would be that really build your mindset, a winner's mindset, a growth mindset. And then, when Steve Jobs says that dots connect looking backwards.
Yeah.
But the dots will never connect if you stop moving on, because there was a low dot. Like if you failed and you just pause over there, then you'll just never move ahead in life, right?
So true.
So then you don't know that the next dot was supposed to be a big high dot for you, right? You
That's
just
very
paused and you let your life freeze, and that became your reality.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
So don't let that become your reality.
Great. So keep moving your dots. अगर McKinsey BCG Bain का कैंपस के अंदर से ना हो तो उसके बाद की कंसल्टिंग कंपनीज करनी और EY, Deloitte, Accenture. So
Takshila, lots of them.
Takshila of the world, right?
Yeah.
So the number one is of course MBBs if you guys get it.
Yes.
A Kearney maybe in the similar category.
Yes.
And then do we have Arthur Little also?
ADL for Masters Indian, we've had interviews in ADL, but I think there've been a lot of off-campus
hiring going on.
Yes.
Okay, great. ADL. This is like I would say the top 5 which we should consider, and then comes your second set. Mein kya
No, even first segment I would put Accenture also, and Accenture also hires very actively from us.
Yeah.
Then your big fours,
EY, Deloitte,
consulting,
KPMG, PwC.
Avalon is doing
Avalon
really well.
Consulting as
Synergy
well.
is doing really
Synergy
well.
is doing very
so
well.
those are also people who are coming to the campus actively.
So when it comes to consulting, these are like top around 8 to 10 companies. This should be dream. पर एक नहीं हुआ तो अगला, एक नहीं हुआ तो अगला चलते रहना. And फिर जाके connect करेगी dots backward कि भाई something good has happened to you.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. Thank you so much Mehak for your time. It was lovely catching
Nice
up.
to
Boys and
be
girls,
here.
do the like button और नीचे comment section के अंदर मिलते हैं. Take care guys. Bye bye. Thank you.